Welcome to the BGC Reset. The following video will take you through some important tips you should know. Let's get started. Alright, so for the first tip, I want to review shelf movement. This particular store is a perfect example because party size currently leads the aisle, and it will, if you look at the new planogram, it will now be moved and relocated to the end of the aisle. One thing to note, the party size section has 5 shelves of chips and a single shelf of hard shelving for the dips. This shelf is a key component because it is going to be moved and relocated to the end of the aisle. Let's go look at that. So if you look at the last section of the planogram, you get to the back, you will see party size. And you will see the hard shelf that we just looked at. Currently, in the aisle, you have the slant dip shelves with the chips. This shelf is going to have to be switched out with the hard shelving, which means, because that's the beginning of the aisle will now lead with the slant dip shelf. So it's a quick swap of this shelf and the hard dip shelf. When you replace this hard shelf with the slant shelf that is at the end of the aisle, make sure that you make adjustments for the other shelves. If you look here, it's a little bit off. The reason it's off is because currently it's formatted for the for the party size bags. So this shelf down here at the bottom does not need to be adjusted. This one probably needs to come down a notch. This one probably can come up a notch, or you just have to move a couple of shelves to make it even and line up with the rest of the aisle. Second tip, I want to make sure that you understand not every store will lead with Frito-Lay. As I mentioned a minute ago, party size is moving to the end of the aisle, and in this particular store, if you look at the planogram, there's a better for you section at the beginning of the aisle. It's about 4 feet or so, and then you will begin from there with Frito-Lay popcorn and rolled gold and so forth. But within this section, you do have a stripe of Simply product that is Frito-Lay product. So I'll make sure you understand that that's not a typo. Frito-Lay does have that space between all of the competitor items. All right, so for tip number 3, I just want to point out to you that, again, these are the slant dip shelves, which is where you will merchandise the dips. I want to point out to you as well, if you look at some planograms, some of the Berkshire planograms show dips at the top. That's just an example so that you can see clearly which dips belong in the set. That is not where you merchandise that. You don't want to put those on the top shelf. You want to use the slant dip shelves for the merchandising and just follow the order on the planogram. 4, I want to make sure that you have a chance to look at the Team Lead Playbook. If you follow along in there, you will see that there's 2 key items that you can use. The first one is the new item list. And that is a list to help you see and understand which are the new items, and make sure you understand that not every item is available on every store, but this is a quick reference guide for you to understand which are the new items for 2018. The next handy dandy sheet is the old and new UPC list. Some of the new items, I think this is an example. There may be a new UPC of this particular bag only because there's a weight change. There will be an old and UPC number if you look at this list and reference that. The goal is to, if you see the item on this list and there's an old UPC and a new UPC number, we want to keep the new UPCs and the old UPCs on the shelf. Make sure to keep them both on the sales floor. Keep a merchandise. Place the old UPC number in front of the new UPC numbers, which are in the back, so that the old UPC numbers sell through. So for your 5th and final tip, I want to make sure that you see the satisfaction survey. Make sure you review your work once the reset is completed, and make sure that this is filled out by the FHI rep or the manager on duty if that person is not available. Make sure that they check off on your work and approve it and get their signature. Take a picture of this and upload it for your rep reporting. So just to close, I would like to take this time to say thank you for all that you do to support Frito-Lay. Look forward to a good reset this year. Be sure, if you have any questions, call the Frito-Lay hotline, 1-866-830-2123. Thank you very much.